Carroll, bringing it forward. Thompson's making the run. Carroll hangs on to it though. Still Davy Carroll. Could go all the way here. Oh, what a goal!
Hello, I'm Phil Catchpole and welcome to this week's episode of Ringing the Blues, the official Wycombe Wanderers podcast. On this week's show, we've got the action and reaction from both the Bristol City game in the League Cup and the League One affair against Charlton Athletic. We have a chat with BBC commentator Robyn Cowen. Former Chairboy Danny Senda joins us too. Plus we have a new fan from the Netherlands. And I also have a chat with a fan who's made a wonderful Mehmessi shirt. But first, let's head to Mexico and get the League One results with Uri.
We are ringing the blues from the city of Querétaro in Mexico because last night I attended a wedding and that's why my voice sounds so sore. Oh, so many tequilas. But here we are, ready to deliver the results for League One. Accrington Stanley 0, Exeter City 0, Bristol Rovers 1, Shrewsbury Town 1, Cambridge United 4, Burton Albion 3, Cheltenham Town 1, Oxford United 2, Derby County 2, Peterborough United 1, Ipswich Town 2, Barnsley 2, Lincoln City 2, Fleetwood Town 2, Morecambe 0, MK Dons 4, Plymouth Argyle 2, Bolton Wanderers 0, Port Vale 0, Portsmouth 1, Sheffield Wednesday 5, Forest Green Rovers 0, Wycombe Wanderers 1, Charlton Athletic 1. Okay, so for Chairboy Spanish, now that I see that Wycombe Wanderers played against Charlton Athletic, I remember that back in 2018, 4 years ago in September, I visited England and I went to the Valley Charlton Athletic Football Club Stadium for my first Wycombe Wanderers game. I think, if I don't remember bad, that we lost, but I enjoyed it a lot, even if I was snoring a bit in the second half because I just landed at Heathrow that same morning in a long-haul flight. So, good memories. So, my first Wycombe Wanderers game, Chairboy Spanish. First, primero, game, juego. My first, mi primer. My first Wycombe Wanderers game. Mi primer juego de los Wycombe Wanderers. So easy this week. Back to England and until next week. And I handle the microphone to my amigo Phil Catchpole. Adios.
Cheers, Uri. Good luck with the hangover. Right, Wycombe Wanderers started the week with a game against Bristol City at Adams Park in the League Cup second round. Both sides made many changes, but it was an entertaining game. Here's what happened.
Good evening, welcome to Adams Park Live on Wanderers TV and Wycombe Sound with me, Phil Catchpole, joined this evening by Wycombe Wanderers striker Sam Boats. Good evening, Sam, how are you, mate?
Good evening, mate, very well, thank you.
Beautiful evening for football.
It is lovely as the sun sets in the far distance. It's a good night for football. I'd rather be out there than, although I'm enjoying your company, mate, I'd rather be out there tonight.
In comes the corner, early test, goes right away across the 6-yard area in the back of the net. Dickinson's claiming handball of someone. The officials seem unmoved. And I think it's a debut goal for Dylan Kadji at the back post. The set-piece woes continue. Wycombe Wanderers 0, Bristol City 1. And it seems, Sam, the ball travelled a long way across the 6-yard area again.
It's so disappointing. Touched on it just as he was about to take it. We've been working on that hard over the last week. Few appeals from the lads for handball, but yeah, it's a frustrating goal to concede so early on in the game from another set piece.
It was nodded down by Kane Wilson, and it was Dylan Kadji on the line who took it away from Tyler Dickinson and just side-footed it into the roof of the net to open the scoring here. And the Bristol City fans who've made the trip down the M4 in great voice here early on. Goal coming in the 6th minute. Mehmessi really turning Tanner inside out here. Gets to cross in at the back post.
Go on.
And it's up and out, and he scores! 1-1 for the Chairboys. Mehmessi hung up a buffet ball, and Ali El-Hamidi gobbles that one up for his first goal for Wycombe Wanderers. What a moment for the youngster.
Oh, I'm delighted for him. What a ball by Anis Mehmessi. That's the kind of ball you want to be as a striker getting on the end of. And I said it just before that movement. Anis getting at the fullback, and he's scared him for the first 2 or 3 minutes of this second half. Stuck a great ball into the back stick, and I'm delighted for Anis, for Ali, sorry. I'm delighted for Anis and Ali, but Ali's deserved his goal. He's worked hard tonight, and yeah, it's great for him to get his first professional goal, if I'm right.
Good play by King. Conway onto the outside, into Kane Wilson. Cross is hung up to the back post. Pandon, really good defensive header under pressure. Heads clear, but only as far as Naismith now. Semenyo's on the left-hand side. Cross comes towards the back post. Oh, and it's there, the goal has come in. Wycombe hesitated from the cross, and Kane Wilson volleys home. It was a decent cross from Naismith. No one came to deal with it defensively or keeper, and Kane Wilson hammers it into the top corner. Wycombe 1, Bristol City 2.
Yeah, frustrating, because I thought we dealt with the first cross really well. Jasper got a great head on it, but he just found himself up alone at the back stick, and yeah, it's not a great one to concede. I think he's got a volley within the 6-yard box there, and I have to look at that back, but I think it's yeah, gutted, because I thought we were really growing into the game as well.
Yeah, it was on a bit of a knife edge the game there. Wycombe just switched off defensively, and they now trail 2-1. Jacobson just outside the centre circle. On Semenyo's charged it down, and now Bristol City can kill this off. Conway's in the box, finds Semenyo, he's onside, and it's there. Wycombe 1, Bristol City 3.
Gareth, a spirited cup tie and a lot of experience for the youngsters and a decent game, but a 3-1 loss.
Yeah, I wanted to be through to the next round. I thought we may be able to get them to penalties and they're late on there. You know, we've protected a couple of players, Chris Farino, Anis Mehmessi, and I got them off the park because they're going to be needed in the squad Saturday without a doubt. But some real bright sparks, you know. I thought Adam Leathers coming on for his full big debut, I thought was excellent. Real bright spark for us, you know, and then Jack Wakely stepping up, definitely, without a doubt. You know, Jasper Pattenden, you know, some real good performances, and Daz and Nick and JJ playing various positions for me, and, you know, can't thank them enough for that. But I thought that the goals that we conceded, I mean, the first one's handball, if I'm honest, and that's not something I've forgotten about that now, because the next two we gave them, you know, there's some defending issues that we've got to get better at, and I've just told the boys, and the boys know. You know, we talk about what teams thrive on, and you know, you make silly mistakes, you give them something to thrive on, and they'll take the opportunity, especially championship side. So you've got to be sure and certain of which way you want to play, and then play that way. But you know, sometimes decisions on the pitch go and you live and die by those. And unfortunately, you know, we conceded a couple of goals with some poor decisions, poor defending, but I'm going to focus on the positives. You know, I really am. I really want to look at is it 8 or 9 players under the age of 22 started the game. You know, the 3 on the bench that we've only just signed at 18, 19 years old. You know, this club's going places, really is, and this infrastructure that we've got. You know, you need to be better. You need to make sure that when you're playing in games, you take your opportunity, take your chance. And I was pleased. Ali as well, getting a goal. You know, fantastic. Leaps unbelievably high to get that goal, and brilliant from Anis on the left wing there. But no, we go on Saturday now against Charlton, and that's it's always been the focus, really. No disrespect to the Carabao Cup at all, because I wanted to get through the next round. With Man City last year was a fantastic experience for the boys, but Nigel will take his team somewhere, I'm sure, and they'll do a good job. But it's all about the league now for us.
The chopping and changing, the changes to give the young players those minutes as well, and you know, the goalkeeper defence. Is that leading to these defensive lapses? Because it must be tough.
They're young players, you know, they're inexperienced, you know, and I think. But having said that, there's a couple of players who've had a lot of games under their belt with 1 or 2 errors there. So I'm not just going to pick on the young boys, not at all. You know, we win and lose as a club, not as a team, not as a 11 or an 18, as a 34 players and however many thousand we're in here today. That's how we win and lose as. We feel it all together, and that's the way we do it at Wycombe. I just want everyone to be proud and see what we're trying to do here by bringing some of these youngsters on, and hopefully later on in the season in the league, your likes of Jack Wakely and Jasper and people like that, you know, coming through may get their chance, and these games will have played a huge part in their development, and you know, Ali of course, and people like that. So no, really pleased. Disappointed with the result, disappointed with a couple of the goals, because I thought we matched them at times and we looked good, but you know, they're bringing on Semenyo and Scott and you know, Scott and Chris Martin against Jack Wakely. It's sort of a mismatch on experience times, but I thought we held our own at times, and that was really, really nice to see.
We had Sam Vokes with us on commentary this evening on Wanderers TV, and he was absolutely delighted for Ali El-Hamdi, because to score your first goal in senior football, it's a huge milestone.
Oh, in front of the terrace as well, you know. I know that's where he'd want to do it. He had a chance first half with a shot, and I said to him, "You got to hit the target." He certainly hit the target on that one. He's got a lot to learn, Ali. He really has. You know, he's a real amazing story. His life, you know, where he's and how he's ended up here, and we want to get the best out of Ali, and I believe in him, which is really important. He's got all the attributes to be a fantastic player. It's just getting them all together now, and we'll work hard on that.
Ali, Wycombe lost in the cup tonight, but let's talk about your goal first of all, because first senior goal, first goal for Wycombe Wanderers in front of the terrace. A great moment for you personally.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously disappointing with the result, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't over the moon. I think it's just something I've been working, you know, for a while now. So yeah, I'm definitely going to enjoy that today.
Talk us through the goal, because there was a lot of fine work on the left-hand side.
Yeah, well, obviously everyone's seen Anis do that, you know, hundreds of times now. And yeah, I know he's good on his left, so I just hung around the back and just, yeah, his delivery was on point, and I was at the right place. We
had Sam Vokes on commentary. He said that you were almost above the crossbar. You jumped so high for it.
Yeah.
No one else was getting that ball.
Yeah, well, obviously Vokes is the master of heading, isn't he? But not to be fair, like, I've been working with Vokes a lot, to be fair, since I've been at Wycombe. I mean, like, it's just, I've said this, it's a privilege to be working with someone of this calibre, because you learn things that you maybe wouldn't learn at youth level, or, you know, someone's been in the Prem and Champ and been there and done it. So, you know, I've been working on like timing the headers, and even just off the ball, like not away from the goal, just in terms of the hold up and stuff. He's been teaching me a lot about that. So yeah, it's just been nice to see it come out today.
It's a good point about the development squad, because you're all in it together. You all train together, you hang out together at the training ground, you eat together. It's these conversation times. That's a vital part, isn't it, of development?
I think that's like one of the things this club does really well, is just bridging the gap between the youth players, and no one really feels left out. Like, all the older boys mingle with the younger players, and all of them are just like fantastic with the, you know, the always there when we need a chat or just advice about anything. And again, like I said, having someone in my position who's just unbelievable at what he does can only help me.
And how does it feel? Because you've had to be patient for your chance. You had a loan spell as well to get minutes, which was really good. But now you've got these opportunities now. He played off the bench in the league on Saturday, started tonight and got your goal. How does it feel now to have these opportunities? Yeah,
I mean, you can only really control what you can control in football, and there's a lot of highs and lows, as everyone in football knows. So I think it's just about staying level-headed when the lows, and then when the highs, just enjoy them, because we have so much, you know, going on all the time, training, bad results, or you know, stuff like that. So it's just when the high moments come, you do need to enjoy them. And personally, yeah, it's been a bit of a journey to finally get to my first goal, but I'll hopefully kick on from here now.
And in front of the terrace as well, lovely stuff.
Yeah, well, Chris nearly broke my Achilles trying to hang on me back. But yeah, it was a good moment, and like, hopefully it's just the first of many, because as a striker, there's no other feeling like scoring a goal, and I'm just hungry for more.
And some of your teammates as well from the development squad getting minutes and debuts as well tonight.
Yeah.
Big night for those guys.
Yeah, I'm just chuffed for them, especially Adam Nevers has had a tough few months out with personal reasons, and Arnold coming on, and everyone. Jasper's only joined us this year. Jack, Chris, obviously who's a established player now in the first team. So again, it gives us hope for the boys coming up now, especially the new guys signing, to show that there's a pathway there for them. And it's not easy, don't get me wrong, because it's a tough league now, especially in League One. We've got, you know, like 10, 11 teams who can get promoted, so it's not easy. But yeah, when the games come like this, you got to show your stamp and show the gap what you've got.
Anis Mehmessi, Chris Farina have shown the way, haven't they? Because, regulars now in that first team. And is that the goal now?
Yeah, definitely. For me, it's just about being consistent. Nice to get my first goal, but again, it's about just showing it on a consistent basis. I know there's still a bit of work to be done, but if I keep just doing what I can on the pitch when I get the opportunity, hopefully that'll just take care of itself.
It is Hemp, and it is deep. Oh, it's in! Chloe Kelly! Unreal scenes! England lead in extra time. The fairy tale fixture might just produce the fairy tale result for England. It's all over. England, European champions for the very first time. It's Leah Williamson to bring it home. England, European champions.
The voice of BBC commentator Robyn Cowen there, describing the wonderful scenes at Wembley with the Lionesses beating Germany to win the Euros. Well, Robyn was at Adams Park this week to cover the Bristol City game for 5 Live. So I had a chat with her about that dream commentary moment.
What a privilege it was, yeah. I mean, I thought they'd do well, but bloody won against Germany at Wembley. I mean, an England team. I still can't believe it happened. No, it was fantastic, and it just felt like from the first game all the way up, it was building and building and building. You could tell everyone was getting really into it. I mean, you don't want it to be, you have to be successful for people to take notice, but obviously it really helps. and they smashed it. So yeah, it was a privilege to follow them. They're a great team.
It must have been like riding a wave. What was it like being in the eye of the storm almost, the middle of it all?
It was great. I mean, it's a tricky one because, as you know, Phil, like being a commentator, you've got a slight distance really from it, haven't you? Like literally, and also sort of in your head, you've got a job to do, haven't you? So you don't want to go too mad, and you don't want to get too sort of involved, sort of. I mean, it was incredibly exciting, obviously, absolutely buzzing. Going home, you couldn't sleep, for hours, days even, sometimes. It was just an amazing feeling to commentate on really excellent football, tournament football, iconic goals that you just don't see every day. That Alessia Russo back heel is going to be talked about forever. So yeah, it was just incredible. It felt proper, proper tournament. Everyone cared about whether it was England or not. People were watching other teams as well. So yeah. No, it's hard to put into words.
And you've been doing this for a long time, coming up through local radio, working your way up as well. You've described these iconic goals, quite literally. Your voice will be on these forever. How does that feel?
Oh, it feels weird. I just feel sorry for my family because they have to listen to me, normally, and it's died down a bit now. But obviously, in the days after, it was just on the radio, on the telly. So I just feel sorry for them having to listen to it. But no, I mean, it's just, I feel very fortunate that I kind of started commentary when the Women's Super League had just started and the BBC was getting involved in that, and it was just online, so basically only my parents were listening, so you can make all your mistakes, and it was very low pressure. So I feel very fortunate that I basically have ridden that wave with the women's game up to where it is now. So it's just great that broadcasters are really taking notice, and also local broadcasters. I know some of them have followed their WSL teams are even lower than that for years now, but now suddenly everyone's very interested. I know season tickets have gone through the roof, sales of all steps. So it's just, and that's really the most important thing. Great to win, obviously incredible, but the legacy that's going to leave is going to be immeasurable, really.
Yeah, it creates heroes here at Wycombe Wanderers. The Wycombe Wanderers women's team are really going through the gears now and stepping up, and that's going to be going across the country now, isn't it? It must be very empowering to see all this going on.
That's it. I think from grassroots, I've heard people from all over the country saying, "Oh, they were going to set up a girls' team and they've had to set up 3," and it's just stuff like that. You know, you want. That's what you want. You want that interest, and the only thing is we need to sustain it now. This can't be it. We need to keep going. We need to keep sort of promoting it and making sure that it's a nice family product, because that's definitely its USP. I feel the women's game. I know a lot was made of it. And maybe some people are bored of that, but you got the atmosphere. This was the best thing. You got the atmosphere. You got the noise, but there was no edge to it at all. Like you sometimes get in the men's game. It was just joy. And that's why it was so special. And I think you get that at all levels.
But also, I mean, you've been commentating a match today now. Jackie Oatley, it was a long time ago now, he did the first commentary as well. But, it's, for young girls listening, they know that there's a room in the press box for them now as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and I used to go into press rooms and count how many women there were, and it used to be maybe me and maybe one other, and now you must see it yourself. There's so many other photographers or broadcasters or written press. There's so many more women now, and again, we just need to keep going. We need to keep showing women that there is a job in football, whatever they fancy, and it's there for them. I didn't dream of being a commentator. I didn't think it would be possible. Obviously, I knew of Jackie Oatley, but she was the only one, and also we all saw kind of, how she was treated and all that. So it's just, as I say, it's great to be able to be a role model if that's what it is, if someone really wants to be and they've seen me do it. That's fantastic, but we need to keep going, because the more the better, because you want to kind of spread the joy and the flack. Obviously every commentator gets flack no matter what happens, as you know. I'm sure it doesn't matter who you are, but I think it's just making it more normalised, because for so long people just didn't hear women's voices on football in particular. I think on other sports they kind of did hear them. Tennis, you get athletics, even cricket, you got the brilliant Alison Mitchell, kind of a regular voice. Whereas now I think as long as you hear it, it's as many as possible, people will stop going, "Oh, that's weird," to hear that sort of voice. So it's all going in the right direction, but as I say, you need to keep the hammer down, keep our foot on the gas and keep going.
And just going back to the final, you'd have woken up on the morning of the final thinking, well, England might win today, and I'm going to describe this. This is a question I often get, is like, do you work out what you're going to say before?
For that game, I probably prepared more than usual. I spoke to a few people like Guy Mowbray about, because I forgot until like the day before, I have to do a trophy lift. I forgot about that. How do I do that? So you kind of have in your mind, and you scribble down a few notes about if they win. You want it to be organic, of course, don't you? But you kind of think, and I just thought towards the end of extra time when England were winning, I just written a few things down. I had a few things prepared, but obviously I just wanted to see what would come out. Co-commentator Rachel Brown finished, she was gone. There was tears. They were playing It's Coming Home. Everyone wanted to get their shirt off like Chloe Kelly. It was just, I actually don't remember what I said really after the kind of full-time whistle, but yeah, I think it's a mixture, isn't it? You have in your head sort of what you might say with a kind of big win, but then you don't want to script too much, do you? You don't want to sound like you're reading something. So yeah, you're going to get that balance.
Well, it's a great moment for the country, and as I know you, I was at home rooting for you, going, "Oh, amazing!" I said you absolutely nailed it. So fantastic.
Oh, thanks so much for your time, Phil. We appreciate it.
It's a fantastic time for women's football, and you can get involved here at Wycombe Wanderers as well. Wycombe Wanderers Women's kicking off their season very soon at Burnham FC. Check out the Wycombe Wanderers website for more information. Right then, the worldwide Wycombe phenomenon. Every week we find someone new, and this week it was Hugo, who's come over from the Netherlands for his first Wycombe Wanderers game, having followed us now for a couple of years from afar. I caught up with him before the game in the Chairboys village. Hugo, whereabouts are you from is it the Netherlands or Holland? Let's get this right.
For you guys, it could be Holland. For us, we'd say the Netherlands.
Okay, we'll go with the Netherlands as it's,
Holland's just the area around Amsterdam a little bit bigger.
Well, we like to educate on Ringing the Blues. So, welcome to Adams Park. Your first game in the flesh supporting Wycombe.
Yeah, I've been following you guys since you guys went up to the championship, and was it last year, Sunderland? 2 years ago, last year Sunderland playoffs, which was a bit unlucky. and I was in the area. I'm actually traveling around the UK with my sister, and I wanted to come and visit you guys. So I was here yesterday, buying a shirt, buying a ticket from Ben. I think it's Ben Griffiths, the guy at the ticketing counter, and he said, "Come along, and people might want to talk to you." And I heard I am not the only Dutch fan here.
No, we got several fans all over the place, several in the Netherlands, looking great in the shirt as well. How does it feel to be here? Because if you've been following the games from afar, is it how you imagined?
Well, I don't really like the massive crowds when you go to big stadiums. I'm a bit disappointed in my own club as well from The Hague. We got some issues over there. Google it and you'll know all about it. But so it's good being in a place without violence and people and rivalry between fans. Everybody's just wandering around and enjoying their day. It's just very calming and relaxing.
Well, game time will be the heat will rise at game time. What do you think is going to happen today?
I'm always, Dutch people have always been neutral, if you go back in time, but I'll let that go for a minute. I'll say 2-1.
Okay, I'm a big fan of the Dutch accent. I know he's not playing today, but I really want you to say Sam Vokes for me.
Sam Vokes.
Lovely. What an accent you guys have got. Brilliant. Well, it's great to meet you at Adams Park, and make sure you come and visit us again soon.
I will, and if you guys go up in the Championship again, I might even get a season ticket.
Great to meet Hugo, and hopefully the boys could deliver and Hugo can get himself a season ticket in the Championship in the very near future. Right, to get up to the top of the table, Wycombe would have to do well against teams like Charlton Athletic. They were the visitors at Adams Park on Saturday, and here's what happened. Wycombe build again with Gape. Gape down that right-hand side finds McCleary. McCleary can have a look at Morgan now on the right wing, running towards him. Little step over, drills it in low. Oh, it's there! And it's Mehmessi. He's in the game now, right-footed into the roof of the net. The ball was laid in on the turf by McCleary. Mehmessi licked his lips and smashed it past Woolacott. Wycombe 1, Charlton 0. Kirk's on the left-hand side. Wheeler's defending. It's cut back. Goes right the way through. Raksaki buries it in the top of the corner. And it's 1-1. An instant reply from the Addicts. Wycombe caught napping on the left-hand side. The ball went across the box. They couldn't defend it. And the youngster at this end of the pitch has put it in the roof of the net. And a perfect reply for Charlton. Wycombe 1, Charlton 1.
Free-flowing football second half, definitely, and both teams could have gone for it. They didn't have a shot on our goal second half. I think they had one and Alfie blocked it, I think, but we didn't really lay a glove on their goal, and that's the story of the second half. We looked like we could have got something, and just in that final third, we just gave it away too many times. They broke on us, we got it back, and then we kept doing the same thing, and frustrating to watch, but the boys look super fit, which is a positive. There's more minutes for players, and some younger players coming through. Ryan Taffazoli back on the bench, Sam Vokes just round the corner now, which is brilliant. So a lot of positives today. And that first half, I thought we were dominant, really dominant. I think that's where we should have won the game today, and probably a lesson that when you're on top like you are, like that, you've got to take your chances. And the boys try, of course they try, and it was just a case of getting that final moment and that, corners or free kicks or whatever it was, just, these moments we work on in training, taking that moment, because first half I thought we were super, absolutely dominant, and I'm sure Charlton were wondering what hit them in that first half. But after our goal, we have to stay secure, 5 minutes, stay solid. You're very vulnerable, because everyone's celebrated and we're all, and we just switched off for that 1 second, and it's a deflection. It's gone in the top roof of the net, and that happens sometimes. But we don't want to let them get that end. We want to keep them that end like we did majority of the first half. And I was pleased. And a point against Charlton's historically a great result, isn't it, for Wycombe Wanderers? But it's even better to think, well, we're gutted we didn't beat Charlton today, and I'm sure we'll be back very soon, Tuesday, Saturday, on winning ways.
I've heard it said many times that you're never more vulnerable than when you've just scored. Why is that?
Yeah, I think it is. It's probably a relief feeling, and I think the best teams, you see it in the Premier League. You do. You see a goal, and then you see another goal straight after, and it's crazy. The mental side of the game is huge, and I think it's just that switch off and that relief, that all that work, all that hard work, you've scored, and now you relax because you've scored, and you can't relax. You can't relax in football, and the best players and the world-class players never relax. Cristiano Ronaldo's and Lionel Messi's and that, you never see them relaxing on a pitch, ever. And you've got to be focused and totally on it the whole time. And listen, we're all guilty of it, and I'm not going to pick up the boys. That's why we're not at the top of the Premier League. We're work in progress. I've got a fantastic squad. We really can't wait for Tuesday now because we're going to be strong, and I want to go far in this competition. but positives today. Yeah, pleased. I thought we played really well.
I know you don't like to single players out, but I want to talk about Mehmessi because that's 3 goals already this season and some really good performances.
Yeah, I mean, Anis is he's growing, he's coming on as a player, and he's going to play plenty of football here, and that's the big thing for Anis, you know. So, fantastic talent. But working with him all the time, every day, you know, working on finishing, working on stuff. He had some chances in training yesterday, which he spurned. So he'll be really pleased today that he put that one in. And him and Gareth have combined really well. David Wheeler doing a shift for me through pain, actually. David, that's why he came off. He ran through absolute pain, and I thank him for that. But we've got the cavalry coming back round the corner. Brandon, Volksy, Solikaikai, Damani, Curtis Thompson. You know, I can reel these off. Ryan Tafazoli on the bench today. So, 6 big players there for our team, and I'm sure when we get everyone back and everyone fully fit, we can really give a challenge to this. Jordan Obita was ill today, and that was another one that this morning I have to deal with. But no, we'll be back and we'll be back strong. And for a change, we're not going off like a train, and we're slowly going. I like this way. I'm pretty cool with the underdog tag that Wycombe Wanderers, 12th place, off the radar. Let the top 8 go and fight it out. We'll sneak in there at some stage.
Good stuff. Well, Tuesday night is another chance for the youngsters in the Papa John's Trophy. So it'll be an opportunity for a bit of momentum now because it's a few games that they can play.
Not just the youngsters, you know, Phil. Your likes of Ryan Tafazoli and your Darryl Horgans and I want them to play in these games. I want them to get fitter. I want them to be ready. That when they're called upon, they're sharp enough to play in these games, and they are. And I think. You say Jack Grimmett looks super fit at the end there. He's really running up and down. Jesse McCarthy, more minutes for him, you know. Ali Al-Hamadi, you know, and he's coming on leaps and bounds. So, no, really pleased, and hopefully we can progress on Tuesday. But next Saturday again is Fleetwood away. We need to put in a good performance there because they'll be dangerous.
Well, the away stand was absolutely packed and it was a good atmosphere at Adams Park. Those travelling Charlton fans, though, they enjoyed the equaliser, but what did they make of the game overall? Here's the opposition view. Exiled Addict.
Frantic first half, scrappy, dull second half. The point at Wycombe is a decent one, but that to me looked like 2 teams who might make the playoffs, but probably won't get promoted.
Milano.
If we're serious about getting out of this division, we have to do better than a point at Wycombe Wanderers.
Fish cost a fortune.
Tough game. I'd quite happily never play Wycombe ever again. It was good to see us pushing to win though, and not sit back like we would in previous years.
Forever addicted.
Everyone looked tired as the game dragged on. Looked like 2 heavyweight boxers who'd exhausted themselves going for an early knockout and hadn't accounted for the later rounds of the fight. Even the subs looked tired when they came on. Hell, even I feel exhausted after watching that. It was great to see an instant response from us going down 1-0 though. 12 months ago, we'd have lost that 1-0 and offered such little threat that Wycombe could have subbed their keeper. So, it's a sign of progress, but already I worry that our inability to turn draws into wins is what will kill our season. Big week with the transfer window closing in a few days.
Killer and Flash.
Well, that was a painful watch. A game of 2 halves, really. We were worryingly open in the first half and should have gone in behind. But in the second half, we tightened up and Wycombe created very little at all.
Clem Snide.
Strange game for me. We started brightly, albeit without creating much, but were suddenly a goal down. A goal which appeared to be preventable with both centre-backs going walkabout again. Thankfully, we got back into it very quickly, but then came under sustained pressure and just couldn't retain the ball as Wycombe turned play over and got into our box very quickly. To be fair, we stood up to it well and didn't really look like conceding again. We were pretty much in control in the second half, but unfortunately the final ball wasn't there and we lacked that little bit of quality in the final third.
Jonathan Avis.
A club that get just 4,500 own fans is a tiny club, and we should have won. We're going nowhere. It's tin pot how we have to defend for our lives away at such small, little clubs like Wycombe. We can't beat Accrington, Cambridge, and now Wycombe.
Working like ants.
A stressful and anxious afternoon. And that was just avoiding the drunken oiks in the away end. We are drawing games that we should and need to win because we're just not clinical enough up front. 4 days left for the owner to get his wallet out and finally buy us a number 9 we so badly need.
Mercia Al.
A pretty good game for the neutral. The draw was a fair result on the day. We did okay, but lacked quality in the final third, with only 2 shots on target, despite having over 60% of the possession. I know he's getting on a bit now, but Gareth McCleary is a class act, and if he was playing for us today, I think we'd have won that game.
Rachel Bridge.
I'll take a point. With that ref, we could easily have lost 6-0 and been down to 5 men. Had Vokes been playing for Wycombe, I think we'd have really struggled. McCleary worked us over again.
Mark Reedy.
Wycombe have been the best attacking side I've seen us face so far this season.
Interesting comments there from the Charlton fans. After the match, I bumped into Danny Senda. He was in the press box covering the game for Charlton Live as co-coms. I thought I'd have a chat with him to see what he's up to and his thoughts on the game too.
Good to see you back here at Adams Park though, Danny. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, it's my link. I'm 21 coach at Charlton, so the obvious connection today to come over and talk about the game. But doing well.
Good to see you back in, getting involved with the coaching as well. But looking at you, mate, you could still get out there and play, can't you?
I would love to play. I'd probably give you a good 2 minutes and then my knees would fall apart again.
What did you make of today? I mean, it was one for fullbacks today, wasn't it? A lot of ground cover by both sets of fullbacks.
Yeah, and I think that you could tell at the back end of the game, hot day as well. Both teams started to go down at the end, didn't they? I felt Wycombe probably edged it in the first half, pushed Charlton back. And then in the second half, I think maybe it was probably edged by Charlton, but not many chances created by both teams. To be honest, a bit of a transitional game, a bit bitty in the second half. So on balance, I would probably say 1-1 was a fair result.
But good to be back at Adams Park?
Always good to be back, yeah. You know, I obviously play for a number of clubs, but, you know, this is where my family are from, this is home. So, it's always good to come back, see familiar faces. I'm always made to feel welcome when I come home. So, yeah, it is, and it's slightly different when I come back with my new club. So.
Many happy memories here at Adams Park. Any highlights that you can pick out for us?
There's so many, isn't there? I mean, when did I join? Back in 97, 98, or something like that. But a lot of friends, I think. That's the thing. I mean, there's obviously a lot of highlights on the pitch, but it's off the pitch now. They're friends for life. You know, people like Martin Lee, Steve Brown, Darren Curry, Roger Johnson. You know, we're all still friends now. And I grew up with those guys as well. I was a boy and left here a man. I grew up with the likes of, you know, the late Paul McCarthy, Keith Ryan, as I say, Steve Brown, Terry Evans. So real good, solid characters which have shaped me today. So a lot of history here. It's a special place, man. I don't hide that.
And now you're shaping the careers of the youngsters as well. And talk us through your coaching career since you stopped being a player.
Yeah, so I've been doing it now, going over 10 years now. So when I stopped playing, it wasn't a direction I was going to go in, to be honest. It wasn't something I was thinking about, but Brentford got in contact. So I went in there and I basically said, shape me. You know, forget about my career. My career was my career, and it will help me along the way, but I want to learn. So I worked all the way through the age groups at Brentford, did 4.5 years there. Moved on to Barnet, worked with their 18s and 23s, and then on to the first team with Darren Curry. And then moved on to Leyton Orient from there, become assistant manager. Did that for a season, and now I find myself at Charlton, where I've had experience of the 21s, experience of the 18s, and last year did probably around 22 games with the first team under Johnny Jackson. And this season I'm back with 21s. It's a great club, and I'm really enjoying coaching. So it's a new career for me.
You never know, one day you might well be back at Adams Park.
You never know with the connections I have and the affinity I have for this place. It's not a secret. It's not a secret, the passion I have for this football club. And that being said, Gaz has done an incredible job at this club alongside Dobbo, and, you know, Matty's still here as well. And that's why it's nice to come back, because to see the club pushing where we are at the right end of the division. OK, we started a little slow this season. Might be a little bit of a hangover from the playoff final. Maybe injuries thrown in there as well. But what Gaz has done, he's got a real spirit and a culture about the club now. And we're no longer Little Wycombe anymore. We are Wycombe that competes at the top end of this division. So it's really good to see.
Well, Danny, it's great to see you here at Adams Park, and you're always welcome.
Thank you. I will be back.
I spend a lot of my time talking about shirts these days. Well, ahead of the Bristol City game, I met Wycombe fan Lucas and his fabulous Mehmessi shirts. Lucas, we're at Adams Park, ahead of the Bristol City game. You are wearing a shirt that is a beautiful Hawaiian shirt in Wycombe Wanderers colours, but with many faces of Mehmessi. Tell me about this shirt. How did it happen?
To be honest, he messaged me randomly, my friend Edwin. He said, tell me your favourite person. It was straight after the Burton game. So Mehmessi had a brilliant game. So I said Mehmessi, and this is what I got as a birthday present.
So, Edwin, is this you here? Are you so you made this shirt for Lucas's birthday?
Yeah, I did, yeah. I was thinking of something special. I thought, it's summer, we love Wycombe, why not get the Star Man on a Hawaiian shirt? And there you go.
How easy was this to get made?
Pretty easy. Found the website, sent in Mehmessi, and it came the next day. It's good, yeah.
I reckon we could mass produce these. We'd sell thousands.
We could, exactly. They'd sell out, they would. They'll look at them. Have the full stadium wearing them.
Lucas, why is Mehmessi your favourite player?
Honestly, to be honest, he's a young player. And at Wycombe, I feel over the past few years, we're not too known for bringing young players through, but because him, Farino, we got other young players coming through. Mehmessi, he's flying at the moment.
So I don't want to reveal your age, but you're a younger fan as well. Is it important to see youngsters on the pitch?
Yeah, of course. It's good to have, we don't have an academy, we have the B team. It's good to see players coming through.
It certainly is, Lucas, and you can check out his shirt on my Twitter feed, @BluntPhil. It's a beauty. Right, that's your lot for this week. Many thanks to Robyn Cowen, Lucas, Hugo from the Netherlands, and you guys for listening in. We'll be back next week with news of the trip to Fleetwood, and we'll have the action from the Pizza Cup too. Come on, you Blues.